platypus. I might be a former Jedi, but like,
Three sessions in, this party did war crimes.
You're mercs!
Basically.
It took you 3 sessions to commit war crimes?
It took them 3 sessions to do war crimes.
I would have committed war crimes day 1.
I'm gonna admit, I didn't do war crimes. I didn't stop war crimes.
Oh, you did war crimes 4 sessions in.
It's not war crimes. He was evil.
War crimes, sometimes.
Because he was a
are
dick
necessary.
and our prisoner.
I'm pretty sure the Star Wars galaxy doesn't have a Geneva's Convention anyways.
Yeah, he was a prisoner.
I'm pretty sure
and evil
someone
and...
blew up their Geneva Convention.
I don't think Geneva exists. So it couldn't have a Geneva
Earth
Convention.
might just exist in Star Wars. There probably was mentioned in a book somewhere.
I mean, it is a
No.
galaxy
Far,
far
far
away. So that means
Technically,
Star Wars.
one of these human origin stories, I don't know whether it's considered even extended canon, is that they are, in fact, descended from an Earth, shuttle that got time warped to a galaxy far, far away a long, long time ago.
Yeah, apparently Earth has appeared in canon.
And then
onto
overpopulated
Coruscant.
and then overpopulated that galaxy.
They started on Coruscant. And then everything went to shit.
Then bred like rabbits.
Y'all listen to the campaign podcast?
Why is it bred like rabbits? It should be bred like guppies.
I think it should be bred like Asian carp.
Bred like wheat.
Bred like cane
I
toads.
was gonna say bred like raisin. Raisin bread. Yum.
Gross. Raisins?
No, man.
You never had cinnamon raisin
I
bread?
do like raisin bread.
I don't like raisins.
I love
Fair.
raisins.
Raisins are great in my opinion.
Raisins are probably second worst of the fruit products.
you know what's better? Craisins.
No, you know what's
Raisin
better?
bread wouldn't be good.
Literally anything.
You know what's better? Eat a fucking apple.
You know what's better?
I like
I don't
raisin
wanna
bran.
I
Good place to have
personally don't
raisins.
want to eat
Jelly
anything
beans.
that's at the moment.
That's your own personal hang-up.
I wonder if there is something. Can you eat octopus while they're? Do octopuses?
So one
it depends on
octopus
the
actually,
species.
one octopus species tears off the tentacle that serves as its dick and just throws it at the female.
Yeah.
And then you eat the dick.
It's Connor's favorite octopus fact.
Look,
My
octopi.
favorite fact when it comes to animals is the echidna has a 5-headed penis.
Knuckles.
My favorite fact about animals is that every freshwater eel in the world was born in the Bermuda Triangle. And that's why it's so weird.
No, I think there's something to do with currents and probably some supernatural bullshit.
And the eels.
Supernatural eel currents.
I'm just gonna say one thing: platypus.
They exist.
They exist.
The echidnas are in the same phylum.
Yes, but they're less weird. Even with
They have
500,
5-headed penises.
that's still less.
I don't
weird.
care.
That can come separately.
Still less weird.
The fucking
Anything
platypus
comes
has the platypus has venom glands in its foot.
It also has electrical powers and electrolocation. A duckbill,
Sense electrical magnetic fields.
like
with
a
its
shark,
beak.
like
Yeah,
a shark.
With its beak.
Yeah.
All I'm gonna say is I don't think a platypus has ever been played by Idris Elba, so...
I don't know if that's true or not. I haven't checked.
What about James Earl Jones as a platypus?
I can see it.
I can see it.
He'd be very distinguished. A very distinguished platypus.
With a monocle?
And a top hat.
Thanks, Fish.
Don't be silly.
No, the monocle's a little too silly. It'd be reading glasses and a top hat.
Yeah.
Wait, are we still talking about Idris Elba?
We're talking now. We're James Earl Jones as a platypus.
Okay. Because I was going to say, Idris Elba would play like a grizzled old war platypus.
Yeah.
Perry.
Perry, like a future dystopian apocalyptic Perry.
Oh god, why can't I think of his name now? His name just popped in my head. Motherfucking snakes.
Samuel
Samuel
L. Jackson.
Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson as a platypus, as an evil platypus.
I could see, honestly, I can see him doing that because it's a paycheck.
Hey, man.
Is it like a movie where like we're designing a movie that's just going to be called Oops All Platypi?
Is Perry the Platypus a quirked up white boy with a little bit of swag busting it down sexual style? Good with
He has way too much swag. Are you kidding me?
That's fair.
Perry the platypus?
That's fair.
See,
fair,
I
fair.
know your reference, but I don't know your reference. Is the
I
Perry
know
the
where
Platypus.
I know where it's from.
yeah, that's me.
Is
Me too.
Green Platypus,
From Phineas and Ferb.
who's
Yes.
also a secret agent.
Yeah, I knew that
is
much.
true.
That's
He
about
is-
as much
Oh, you
as
got
I knew.
Fish, he's also not a white or boy. Well,
He's
Yes.
a trans boy.
probably.
He's also gay.
Isn't he in love with Doofenshmirtz?
It's debatable. There's evidence for it. I'm trying to
I
remember.
love how my mother just texted me how you
Oh.
feel. And I'm like, I'm having a conversation about Perry the platypus, and
He is goated with the sauce.
yes, But he
Speaking
is
of
too
cartoons, did anyone see that SpongeBob is going to be doing a younger version of themselves in a cartoon now?
That-
it breaks canon. Like, it's a direct violation of canon.
That's a thing that the number of SpongeBob sequels they're attempting. I heard someone talk about this.
Stephen Hillenburg is rolling in his grave.
Yeah, he never wanted sequels.
He never wanted sequels. When he died, as soon as he died, they started announcing sequels.
SpongeBob is not goated with the sauce.
That's probably
Probably,
why.
Yeah.
He probably had
SpongeBob-
like it in his contract. As long as I'm alive, we're not doing anything else with it. And as soon
Well,
as
he had
died,
creative
it's like,
control, I
"Ah."
think, in his
Yeah.
contract.
So as soon as he died, it's like, haha, now we can do whatever we want.
And they're exploiting it. And honestly, I was never a huge fan of it, but I thought it was
Seen,
like
the first 5 seasons of SpongeBob.
the early
That's
seasons
about
were
it.
okay. Like, I felt it's gone on too far, but I feel like, there were some pretty stupid moments. But it's like I could recognize this is fine for younger audiences. This is fine. It's not
Kids cartoon. You know?
kids
He
cartoon.
also does not have the requisite swag.
Anyway, we probably should get started soon.
Yeah, I can hit this buttons here. I mean, we've been top screen for a little bit here. Not as long as some of our conversations, mind you. But I can just hit these buttons like this. Oh, shit.
Do it! Don't do it!
I hadn't had us muted.
Oh God!
Great.
I'm just gonna stop the stream and restart it. And
No, man, keep it in.
Just
Keep it in.
leave
keep it going!
Keep it in. Keep it in. I want people to hear my discussions about
We
if
had
the
8
platypus
minutes.
is a quirked up white boy.
Yeah, just
we had
leave it, honestly.
8-minute conversation. I think what I had done is I had muted it at the end of my stream earlier today, just kind of for fade out reasons, and I tried to. I forgot that, so I hit the buttons to mute it, which unmuted it.
fine.
This
We're
Fine.
good. Hey, people need to know the truth about everything that I've said.
It's literally
Kidneys,
not going to be
platypi.
the weirdest thing anyone's ever heard me say.
I'm willing to have more discussions on any of the topics that I personally discuss.
It barely scratches the surface of the weird things people say on Twitch.
I think we didn't break any terms of service, at least.
It's a really good thing I didn't mention the thing that I sent to Fish.
Yeah. That's funny.
That's at least what I can say. I think we didn't break any terms of service. We're okay. Hi, welcome to Children of Rath. You may have been enjoying whatever the hell that was.
This is what it's like every 30 minutes.
That's
before we
our
start.
free-
Philosophical discussion.
Very important.
That's how it always works.
That's the
Yeah.
beginning of every one of these shows. Is like weird discussion like this.
It gets me in the mood to play these games.
What discussion are we having today? So yes, welcome. If you missed last week, Kaz met with his father and mother, had important discussions, learned he's got a younger sister, learned some stuff about his own origin, the fact that he is a child of a tumultuous affair that his mother had for a number of years with a stranger who brain farting name, you wrote it down. Quell. Thank you. That way I don't have to move pages because I'm not on the right page for that. I might still have to move pages, honestly, to where my notes are in this notebook. I'm on a different note page for a different game. So
No notes for you.
a man named Quell, who was basically could be best described either. You're not sure if he was an actual adventurer or he was a playboy who had stories of being an adventurer. Either or. Tryst with your mom for a number of years, and then your mom broke it off, and the man left. And last she heard, he was heading for the capital.
Yeah, he's there. And also, my other older sister, the one who didn't accost us on the road.
Yeah.
She's a captain of the guard there.
Yeah. It's been a number of years. She was a guard. She's, like, worked her way up in the ranks, you know?
I'm gonna get arrested.
I mean, she has to notice
For loitering.
Probably arrested for loitering. Honestly, any excuse.
I'll break out.
But
It's easy.
So now it's time to head to the Shiv and Oasis, and you had also checked out the Thran Power Stone mine.
Do you know how close I came to just turning things on?
Probably pretty
Yeah.
close.
I can do it, man. I have the spell slots to just ping, 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 power artifice.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you definitely
Yeah,
could start.
that would have got us into a lot of trouble.
I mean, a lot of trouble.
I restrained myself. You're welcome.
Mm-hmm. So we're kind of coming in post. You're leaving the Mana Rig. You're being escorted out. You're heading to your wagon, ready to take it. I guess it would be kind of northeast to the Shivan Oasis, which
Comedia.
Mm-hmm. Comedia, which is a big meteor crash site that formed into an oasis, formed into a town, formed into a city, in that order, and it's become the kind of central location for all the Shivan tribes. That's more accelerated it to the top tier status as a location than anything else. Can all of you give me some quick perception checks when you get back to the wagon? Just wanted to see something here.
Perception. Sure.
Oh, I shouldn't have had advantage.
So I'll take the 18. Okay.
Yeah. 18's still good.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
He was messing around with my stuff.
Teverith is just kind of lying down in the back, kind of like just basically like taking a nap, afternoon nap. And you're gonna kind of pack yourselves into it. Cole, you and Kaz are actually gonna notice something. You don't remember there being like there's a couple of bags here you don't remember. Maybe they were in there from when you packed up earlier, but you don't recall them, like when you left?
They're not my bags. I only have the one.
I travel light.
I have my backpack on me.
I didn't do it.
Okay.
Poke it with a
Catch.
stick.
Anyone else? Anyone have these bags?
I don't remember anything about it.
I poke one with my staff.
Just seems to be a bag.
I open it.
There's a strange assortment of what looks to be just, like, goods in there. Maybe some clothing, a couple of, like, objects. All like, goblin stuff. All in pretty decent condition. Some things that look pretty nice. Like, if you kind of, like, look through it, you'll be like, this one has, like a couple pieces of what look to be jewelry, and a couple knickknacks.
I'm not about to be framed for stealing things. So, what do we do about this?
Could your mom have maybe tried to add something to our cart as like a going away thing?
Possibly. Hey, can I look around and make sure we don't have, like, a stowaway?
Sure!
Yeah, I was gonna say a stowaway.
Can I use my cool fact that I'm a smuggler to know if there's anything, like, mega illegal in these bags?
No, there's nothing mega legal in those bags, I will tell you. The cool fact yourself, rather. Sure, you can take a look around. You
Yeah,
can either
I'll
roll
look
perception
around
or
too.
investigation, I'd say, again. Just another
Okay.
one.
I
My
will
investigation
see.
is significantly better.
Mhm.
It's a 25.
Okay. So you're gonna kind of like a look around, and you're gonna kind of notice then, you're just taking a look around the wagon and stuff, and then you're taking a look around your dragon compatriot, and you'll notice it looks like there's something kind of like curled in the center of where the dragon's curled up, and you will see 2 goblins curled up with your dragon.
Do I know these goblins?
Oh yes,
Is this my mother and my younger sister?
yes.
Okay, are you...
They seem to be
Hi.
asleep with the dragon.
Weirdly cute.
I think they are trying to run away from my father. And I don't like my father, so I'm not going to do anything about this.
Well, your
They
mother
could have
seems-
asked.
Your mother seems nice enough, and I've smuggled people out of horrible places before.
I don't
I
mind,
don't
but they
like
could
your
have
dad.
asked.
I also don't like my dad.
Your dad did seem like a dick.
My dad is a dick.
Can I punch your dad in the dick?
No.
Why
Do
not?
you know why? Because we're gonna leave before he finds out that my mother and my sister are in this cart.
Here, you guys leave. I have wings. I can fly and catch up
Don't-
after I punch your dad in the
Don't
dick.
punch my dad in the dick.
Oh.
That's just gonna get us in more trouble. And I'm already not really liked here. Except by the bartender who thought I was funny.
But here's the thing: what if they don't bring it back to you?
It's you.
You
Yeah.
stand out.
But if I turn into my big demon form,
Or
then
invisible.
they won't know it's me.
Or invisible.
I forget that I can turn invisible.
You can invisibly punch him in the...
The
Look,
problem
okay.
is, if I punch him in the dick, I will not be in.
Yeah,
well,
that
actually,
breaks
I
the
don't think that's-
invisibility enchantment.
Does that break my invincibility?
Yes. It's not
Okay.
improved. It's just normal.
Oh, listen. If anybody is punching my dad in the dick, it's me. And I'm considering it,
I
but
could
I'll do
look
it on
like
my
you-
way out of Shiv.
I could look like you and do it for you.
No, that's not the point. It would be me, and it would be catharsis. But we're going... if we do it, it'll be on the way back.
If we go back, because the only reason we were probably going to go back was so you could say goodbye to your mom, but she's here.
She is here. Frankly, I'm impressed she hasn't woken up. We're not being quiet.
No.
Be a heavy sleeper.
We're never quiet.
Well, to be fair, I'm pretty sure your dad snores.
He
You have
does.
to be a heavy sleeper to get through that.
Anyway, let's just go.
I will tell you, with your investigation, you're pretty sure those bags weren't here when you left, so most likely, they raced after you. So they're probably really tired, and probably that's why they're not waking up.
Yeah.
Because they decided to follow you. They knew where you were going, and were just like, you know what? Fuck it. At least your mom said that.
It's fine. We're just gonna go
Uh-huh.
right to Comedia.
Alright,
Sure. Whatever.
Kaz, I'm adopting your sister.
That's fine. Don't fuck my mom.
I was gonna make a joke about it, but no, I'm adopting your sister as my sister.
Okay. I'll accept it.
At least she's not trying to do anything with your sister.
Obviously not. Not
His
this one.
sister is a child.
Don't fuck my other sister.
No promises.
Random goods mimic. Yeah. I haven't done anything that evil yet.
That's why we were poking it with a stick.
Oops, all mimics. That's my favorite.
Your mom's actually a mimic.
It is
Yeah,
actually a mimic.
they're just cuddling with this dragon, I assume.
Yeah.
The dragon's been a mimic this whole time.
Yeah, they're just cuddling with the dragon.
I'll put a spare blanket over
Oh.
them.
Aw. Alright. So it will be days' journey. And eventually, your mother and your sister will wake up. Of course, your sister will be the first one to be like, spill the beans that they're there, as your mother's attempting to be stealthy. But your sister is a young child who's recently, gotten to that age where, goblin children have, like, can form sentences and not, like, null on everything.
Yeah.
They null on half the things, Still, similar to sharks, first instinct, bite it and find out about it first.
To be fair, that's also my instinct, so...
Yeah. I
Isn't that
bite
your
a lot of
niece's
things.
instinct as well?
Not anymore, she got better. It might have been. That sounds accurate.
I do personally enjoy biting things. It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Same.
So, probably at some point in time, there'll be a tiny creature will leap upon your head carry and, like, kind of bite into it and be like, and you'll hear the words, ah! And it'll say something, which Kaz will recognize as, like, now I am in charge!
No.
What?
Oh, they're awake.
You need to teach me Goblin so I can talk to my new sister.
Okay. Oof.
It seems to be some kind of dominance thing, She's jumping on
I'm
Gary.
just going to ritually cast Copperhead Languages.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can also do that.
I thought of it, though.
I just
I'm
speak
just
Goblin.
gonna cast it. It won't take me 10 minutes.
You're not going to waste a spell slot. You never know what's going to happen.
If I beat up the biggest,
need
meanest
spells.
thing here, I'm the biggest, meanest thing here.
Number one, we have a dragon.
The dragon's nice, it serves me.
I'm gonna pick the child up off of my head, bring it down, and be like,
Grr!
you will be a very good addition to my new kingdom.
I don't know what you're saying, but I'm in charge now. Can I have a cookie?
We don't have any cookies.
I might have a cookie. Hold on.
Oh, you've
Claud.
been holding out on us. What was the name of the younger sister again?
Oh god, I wrote it down along with Quell, and I...
Okay, because I didn't write it down.
It might be in chat. I might have to scroll back and chat here. Give me a minute to do...
Islug!
Islug.
Islug.
Can this child have alcohol?
No! No, she can't have alcohol. Mom, she can't have alcohol, right? Also, Mom. Come on.
Hi.
Hi. Look, just because I only have one eye now doesn't mean the other doesn't work.
Look, I'm sorry, but, your stories and, your brother's stories inspired me. I decided to leave. It was a chance to. Adventure. You were going to the capital, right? I can now live at the capital. So I took some money. And your
How
sister.
much?
All of your father's savings?
No, that's fine.
Fuck
How
yeah!
much? I honestly don't care. How much?
I have about 3,000.
Okay. Okay. That's a good amount. It's a good
It's
amount.
impressive.
That will keep you alive for a pretty long time.
That'll be secure. Oh boy. You know that... Oh fuck, what's her name? You did tell me that Egro specifically is the captain of the guard in the place we're going. She's going to find out.
Yes. I actually sent her a letter because we were going here where you were at. It might arrive beforehand to let her know we were coming.
Including me?
I may have mentioned you were coming.
At least it's not a surprise.
Well, at least if the guards are already at the gate waiting for you, we know.
And we can run.
I'm going to
can't
prepare a
always-
disguising spell.
You can't always run away from your problems.
Yes, you can.
We have constantly.
Eventually, that's gonna stop working when your problems get faster.
No problem is faster than my wings.
I'm faster than my problems. Or said least smarter. I'm prepping a disguising spell, and everyone, I died on the road. That's
Okay.
what we're telling
It's
people.
not Islug, it's Ulglad. Because
damn it,
Islug
there's
is...
so many.
Because then you had 2 Islugs, and I was the first
Oh,
second.
yeah, Islug is the older
Yeah.
sister
Yeah.
who's a merchant.
Ulglad.
Uglad.
It's next to Quell, and they...
Glad to see you.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. I died on the road. I'm a different goblin.
You died on
I-
the road choking on a toad?
No. I fought off a hellion. Yeah.
Apparently not very well if you died.
Shut up. Shut up.
Or we could just say that I killed you.
No, because then you'll get arrested. And when you're in jail, towns burn down.
Wintress isn't here to burn down a town, so I don't
Nope.
see how that will happen.
But
How
I
many-
am.
How many towns have you people burned down?
3.
None. I have burned down none.
None that you can prove.
If we're talking total
Actually,
in this
wait.
part, I'm pretty
Does he-
sure.
Does that orc village count?
That's why I said 3.
Okay. We did, in fact, just leave a town that I am infamous for burning down. But you cannot prove it. There is
I'm
no
pretty sure
evidence.
the entire town proved it.
That is circumstantial witnesses. No physical evidence.
It's still evidence.
I was never charged.
Because you ran away.
Is there even a court of law in your town?
No, they would just lynch you.
Exactly.
Oh, my Kazzyboo. Always so great with fire.
See, this is why we're best friends.
Please don't call me that anymore. It's just Kazzrann.
Sorry.
Don't
gonna-
make this a thing.
I'm gonna steal that.
Sorry, I know. It's just, I always remember you as the tiny one.
I am 17 years old. Wait, that's what I was at the start of this. It's been over a year.
Yes. You might have even been 19 on this at this point in time.
I am 19 years old.
And you've grown into a wonderful young man.
Thank you. I am, in fact, the greatest goblin inventor in the world.
That's not a high bar, Kazzrann.
There's only like 5 really good ones, but I am the best.
How many are there total?
Goblins? A lot.
No, inventors.
Goblin inventors? Less.
Like 6, probably.
Well, there's a few isolated goblin tribes that don't talk to people. So we don't know. But I am the best.
I don't believe you.
And no one wants to talk about the goblins of Flarg.
No one wants to talk about the goblins of Flarg.
Nah.
Not even the goblins of Flarg?
I mean, most of them died.
Rip to the goblins of Flarg.
Rip to a real one.
They decided, what would be great to be? Ocean-going goblins. Let's build some boats.
Rip.
Folks, Kaz did
It
that.
went half well.
Which is about as well as you can expect it to.
I mean, they were a brief scourge until a bunch of merfolk decided they really didn't like the goblins on the ocean anymore. And, turns out, your ocean-going fleet, which is really great at, maybe raiding coastal towns, kind of pirate style, not great against people that poke holes in the bottom of them.
Not in my ocean.
Well, no,
Yeah.
I mean, Sanguine don't exist, so you're fine. We're sea elves. No. I mean,
I'm
there's
going-
that horrible hybrid elf merfolk creature that existed.
There's the fucked up lobster people.
Yeah, but they live in the south because, when the Ice Age went away, they prefer colder water.
Are they edible?
Always.
Probably, but they're also, look at mammalians as food most of the time.
Eat or
You're
be
also-
eaten, baby.
You also would need a lot of butter.
That can be arranged.
Do you think goblins are technically mammalian?
Yes. I feel like they're like weird but mammalian. They're not kobolds. Kobolds are reptilian.
Kobolds are reptilian. Viashino, obviously reptilian.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Merfolk are Ichthian.
Yes. Anyway. But, so, eventually, though, you will find yourself at the, getting back onto good roads. Kind of meeting with the roads heading north. Some of the main trade routes that head through some of the various lands here. Of course, you pass by many mountain and stuff. The trade routes kind of wind through Shiv, these roads, because they're meant to be in places that they're easier to maintain. Tend to have less threat of volcanic activity, earthquakes and stuff that would cause massive amounts of damage. Granted, they don't go for, like, a paved road look, because that would never last. But, like, some kind of, like, basically cobbled road. That'll do with some kind of earthquake damage if it occurs. And, the lava damage doesn't happen very often along the road.
Lava flows are just nature's pavement.
They have to be dealt with occasionally, though. They've got teams for that. The government. The government has been trying in the last decade, basically, to become better organized and to have more, like, civil projects. Things like the defense forces for Shiv, diplomatic corps, specifically created by them. So Shiv as a united group can work with diplomacy through the other nations of the world. Things like that. You'll pass a few other travelers, some merchants, a group of Gitu nomads will pass by you. Obviously traveling on the road from one place to another, as they would do. You'll actually pass by like a kind of cliff area where there's actually a Viashino village up in the cliffs. So the like down in the base of the valley, kind of along one of the few rivers, the road will kind of come down along one of the few rivers that pass through Shiv. There are rivers that go through there. They tend to be warm, but not boiling like the water outside. It doesn't have volcanic vents in it, of course. But there's like the road kind of winds down into the valley around that, and the village is kind of up in the cliffs above there. As travelers, the Viashino will, give you looks, but honestly, they're along a major trade route. This town is used to it. Probably like a couple will approach you and ask if you're like looking to trade goods or anything like that. That kind of thing. If you're just travelers passing through, they'll wish you well, and just be like keep them in mind. Should you be returning with goods when you come back or something like that. The usual kind of thing. It actually would have like a nice place to stay too, a reasonable inn with various pretty much meat-based dishes, honestly. So the journey north will be a pretty quiet one overall. Quiet for Shiv. There'll probably be also things like a couple dragon flybys. But they're in the air, always. Maybe a few bouts with wildlife, but honestly, nothing that you guys can't handle. Most of the wildlife around here, sadly, horribly outclassed by you. So I'm not going to even, bother with, rolls on it. Shiv and raptors, yeah, they're pretty dangerous to the average person. You're above level 10. It takes a bit to...
No, we're a high level. We're level 12.
Yeah, you could just murder the shit out of, CR3 raptors.
I just do a fireball and it's done.
Mm-hmm. Of course, your younger sister will want to have all the stories of your adventures, which she hasn't gotten the stories, which I'm assuming, you'll try to do the... for younger children version of your stories.
Yes, I do censor some of the adventures.
Uh-huh.
I need to know about our wild college days.
You didn't have wild college days. That was the
Yeah,
rest.
and whose fault is that?
Or Carrie's wild adventures with elves.
Look, Carrie has a lot of wild adventures everywhere she goes.
That's the plan.
So it's pretty much just like, give a brief summary that Carrie was there also doing something.
And some people.
And some people. But leave out that portion of it. Anyway, eventually, though, you'll kind of move into an open kind of plains area where there's lots of, like, scrub grass patches, a couple of the, like, twisted scrub trees that grow in Shiv. So it's kind of like a little bit of a flatlands in between the mountains of volcanoes. There are a few, like, mountains that are kind of nestling, as you can see the massive crater of the meteorite strike ahead of you. Beyond the crater, as I said, it kind of nestled in between this plains area and a small bit of mountain ranges to the side. So you kind of have, like, this, to the south, the wide open kind of expanse around it, before, like, another range of mountains kind of splits in between it. Turns out the meteorite landed in a very good spot. There's actually one of the few relatively geological stable spots. Kind of like where the Mana Egg is in a geologically stable spot. This is one too.
Yeah.
So it makes it a very good place for a capital. You don't really get volcanoes and other stuff there. The earthquakes, yes, because, I mean, the entire island shakes a little bit.
Obviously.
But the road here is actually a much better road. It's it kind of switches from that rough cobblestone, and where a number of roads kind of come together here from various places into like a paved road that kind of goes up to the gates itself. So it's kind of like it's the cobble paved. So it's like the material's been put in like in between the cobblestone to kind of keep the cobbles together. So it's not like, they have like asphalt or something. They have like the basic like, you know what I'm talking about. Most people would. Yeah. So it's much nicer. The mortared cob.
Mortar.
Yeah. That's the word I was looking for, which is escaping my brain.
It's a word that I definitely was thinking of.
There are a number of small, like, farms and buildings in the area that seem to be set up to do various things. The farms themselves seem to be working on, it looks like a lot of, like, local crops, honestly. Stuff that actually grows in the scrub lands. As this area is technically semi-green, the scrub lands of Shiv, it's probably the greenest areas. The scrub trees have a few leaves on them. They're still tough plants. Deal with the fact that there is probably not a lot of rain, but this is still a little better than your average desert, honestly. So, rains do fall on the flatlands of Shiv occasionally. And because it's relatively far from it's the least acidic rain around here. Most things don't have to worry about that. It only tingles a little bit. So, yeah. And the Oasis is a natural spring from deep below the earth, so it tends to actually be relatively pure. So the nature of the Oasis is kind of built into the crater, but what they've done is they've kind of like hollowed out some tunnels in the edge of the crater. So there's like these massive tunnels which lead in the side of the crater into the center of the Oasis. So they kind of move in at the base of but they kind of like angle up a little bit. So they kind of end up with you a little higher up in elevation in the crater, as the entire like city is kind of like arranged in that kind of bowl shape of the crater itself, with the governmental assembly and all the major buildings kind of surrounding, and the core of the city surrounding the actual Oasis, which has been turned into like this beautiful park area, that probably has a number of like monuments to the tribes of Shiv and their united culture, kind of things like that. It's made into like itself not only a place where there's an incredible source of water. It's probably the best source of fresh water in all of Shiv. here at the Oasis. And the natural kind of like dirts in the area tend to filter out a lot of the acids and stuff and other chemicals, the material that's in here. So it actually tends up to be pretty pure water. There doesn't have to be a lot to do to, like, enjoy drinking water. You tend to be able to just drink it, that kind of thing. It's truly is a massive oasis, and the tunnel itself is pretty impressive engineering. Of course, you'll see it looks as though it's kind of like the entrance is guarded by some more of the Shivan core, the protective core. And you can see that, like, there does seem to be some structures up at the rim and on the walls of the crater. It just seems to be like some kind of buildings that seem to be Viashino homes that were built into the outside walls of the crater. Probably, honestly, why not? They wanted to move in there. That's a place they wanted to build. They can build into it. Viashino are it's one of their areas they like to build. Also, there's like a couple of structures that are at like the top of the wall that can be seen, which can best be described as like probably places that dragons hang out. Honestly, you can see on like one of them there seems to be like a dragon just kind of chilling out, but they seem to be like a combination of like a roost maybe, or like a general like kind of home area that they can kind of call to at the edge of the crater. There is a lot of traffic coming in here. Of course, as the major city, a number of wagons, a couple of actually, like, it looks like merchant groups, probably bringing things in from things like the port or other cities. Goods from various fish, places, villages and towns, goods from the Gitu, things like that. Even a couple of goblin merchants, just like your sister would be, bringing in various goods from the Goblin lands. Goblin still, some of them make some pretty good things, especially when it comes to some of the tinkering and artifice stuff. There's not as many good inventors as you, but there are a couple of goblins that, being around the Mana Rig, they've learned a few things about making a few things. They can at least, recreate some stuff that's pretty decent. Enough tinkering and you learn a few things, especially over a lot of generations. Time plus ingenuity equals eventually we'll learn something. The tunnels are actually lit by what look to be these red flames that seem to be magical in nature. So kind of like an ever-burning flame that kind of lights the sides of the tunnels on either side to give the entire tunnel this kind of like red glowing look. There are 3 main tunnels. You will be directed with your wagon into the central one. It seems as though all the actual merchants go on the one that would be to your right, and outgoing traffic comes in through all outgoing traffic comes in through the ones on the left. The center one is for more personal people, and also like any kind of like specialized things and things like that. Usually kind of comes in through there, so they kind of separated out the traffic a little bit. There are like gates built in that can be closed to these tunnels, but it looks as though they aren't used very often. Probably it's like, if something happens, like, Shiv hasn't been invaded since then, but there have been wars on Shiv in the past, so, they're ready for that kind of thing. Honestly, since the invasion, no one has no aggressive force has set foot on Shiv.
It's pretty hard to reach.
It's pretty hard to reach, and it's pretty inhospitable. Like,
it is hostile. The territory itself is hostile.
That's why there's, like, on the entire island, which is a pretty big island, I have to say, like, it's probably comparable. It's, like, bigger than a lot of island nations that we have, It's probably, like, as a single island, it's no Australia, but it's probably like bigger than something like New Zealand, which is a pretty big area, Bigger than Madagascar, gonna be honest,
Bigger than the United Kingdom, but not as big as Greenland.
Yes, Greenland would be bigger. It's maybe like between a third and a half to the size of Greenland. That's a pretty big area. There's probably...
It's like if you cut off Alaska from Canada.
There's probably about maybe a dozen major cities on the entire area. That's not a lot. it's mostly like some major towns and lots of small villages. Just because of the harsh nature of the area. You do not get many large cities. So that's another thing about Shiv. Of course, the guards will kind of ask what your business is. Just, like, they have a custody check, just see what's in there, like, they'll probably ask about your dragon, honestly, and want to, like, that's not a dragon of Shiv. What is it doing here? Can you speak, O Draconic One? Yes, I'm Tevrith. I am, the incarnation of the Rith of Yavamea, the current one. I've, come on a diplomatic mission to meet with, the current incarnation of, Daragaz. The guy will scratch his head like, this is beyond my pay grade kind of scratch head and be like, I can... if you can send us a message of where you and your entourage are staying, we can send a message to the council to see if they can know anything. If that would help. That would be wonderful.
Yeah.
Apologies, Kazzrann and others, but if I would talk with others, this might be a point to do it. And
You're good. You're fine.
It seems as though my presence here has caused you some issues at least. I hope I do not interfere with your missions here.
Look, it's fine. You're like a dragon, and yes, that will cause issues. The last town we were in, I was genuinely wanted for arson. It's fine.
I feel like anywhere these three go, there will be issues.
Yes.
Rude, but accurate.
I don't do anything. I am not wanted anywhere.
That is patently untrue.
Where am I wanted?
You're wanted here with us.
Exactly.
Because you're complicit in our crimes.
I mean, where am I actually, like, legally, like, authorities want me?
Probably that one Minotaur place.
Yes.
I feel like we did something there.
Yes, you
We
did.
scammed some people.
Zarapa. Zarapa, you are technically wanted by authorities. Not for any major crimes, though. It's
It was just fraud.
It's just fraud.
It was fraud. We did commit magical fraud.
You did commit magical fraud.
Technically, the item we sold was magic at the time. I've just since ended the enchantment.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Didn't we sell a weird egg? Is that what we sold?
Sell a weird egg.
Look, your crimes are numerous, and you will be enforced to the greatest enforcement of the law if you should head back there.
Oh no, how terrible. Minotaur ladies.
Anyway.
You know you love them.
That's the whole point of what I just said.
Emerging...
Attractiveness of minotaurs aside.
Yes, attractiveness. Emerging into Comedia is a beautiful sight. The city is best described as green. Since this area tends to be away from volcanoes, it tends to be the area where you don't have a constant cloud cover, too. There is sunlight in this area, there is some light. Similar on the Manarig is also not like blackened skies. Blackened skies tend to be around the volcanic regions, which are numerous, and a lot of places in Shiv, but there are points where the cloud covers come and go. It's just never a bright sunny day for long. Honestly. Nothing lasts like that. But the sunlight's enough to kind of give this entire area a beautiful look. It is a lot of buildings made out of like a kind of like sandstone dug from like the areas nearby, or kind of the reddish granite of the Shivan Mountains, and the mixture of colors along with the greenery that seems to spread throughout the city. There are trees and like small parks seemingly built into like areas. There are plenty of these like little rooftop parks that are kind of built in. There also seems to be this entire like complex aqueduct structure that seems to be throughout the area, where water is like pumped in from the underground sources up into like the tops of the crater, and then uses gravity to spread it throughout the city, and eventually it moves back down into the Oasis, where it filters back down into the natural source. The buildings here are numerous. There are all kinds of people about. You can see just many Gitu, goblins, Biashino. There are, of course, a number of dragons around. The main thoroughfares seem built enough for like dragons to move on. There's a network of these main streets which are big, and then there's like networks of smaller streets and stuff leading into buildings and things. There are, of course, on this main thoroughfare, trade going on everywhere. There's there's the shops, which are the buildings on the side, where all kinds of goods and services of Shiv are being sold, and then also like all these little carts and stuff, which some of the wagons that are coming up seem to be selling things to these carts or buying things from them. That seem to be these more people moving in for a couple of days, setting up some shops, selling off all their goods, and then heading back out to their homes, kind of like thing, so coming into the big city to sell stuff. The place is bustling and lively. Honestly, Kaz, you've not seen something like this on Shiv. This is most populous place you've been. Like the city, which was founded by Benalia on the coastline, and is sort of like a protectorate almost of them, in a way. That's got a governor, but it's also under the Shivan law kind of weird, nebulous area. That was a city. This is a beautiful metropolis. Like, Benalia, for its age, for being hundreds of years old, and being like an old city that, it's resurrected on the back of an old version of the city. It has that feeling of an ancient, massive city. And other places you've been to, certainly probably larger and more impressive in ways, but there's just something about this place that it fills you, it's home. And it is an impressive thing for your home. What are your plans? You've arrived at the Great Oasis. Comedia is yours to explore, and currently, you aren't being arrested currently, so no one obviously is looking for you.
Not
yet.
Currently being arrested.
Once you're in the city, there seems to be a change in the guards. Like on the borders, the tunnels seem to have been guarded by the Shivan defensive forces. This seems to have its own guard forces, and there seems to be plenty of patrols, at least along the main thoroughfare, where all the traders and merchants are doing their jobs. There's all kinds of, there's also like food stands all around with all kinds of stuff. Like lots of interesting dishes. Like there's like a food stand selling like stuff that like Gitu stuff, and because the Gitu are very nomadic, of course their food tends to be very like on the go kind of thing. So it's like very travel food.
Yeah, like dried foods.
Yeah. Dry foods are like maybe like small like things that could be like fire baked things, like they're baked in like clay bowls, so they're like little like hand pies and stuff like that. Things
Well, probably find an inn first, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, this is we're
Get
here for
drunk.
you, so whatever you think is best.
I feel like there was another reason we were coming here.
Yes,
I don't remember what it was.
I have to talk to someone here.
Cole wanted to talk to someone. You wanted to find your father. Possibly
I knew that part.
Your dragon maybe meets with the Shivan Council because honestly trying to look into Rith stuff and maybe talk about, peace between the dragons. And honestly thought that, coming here would be better first. Let's see here. There might have been another thing for coming here that I am forgetting.
I believe we also might have wanted to talk to the council about Squee, but
Yes, and looking to squee too. You were talking about that. Mm-hmm. Certainly, you can find an inn. Certainly along the main thoroughfare here, which heads down all the way, from the entranceway you're at down to like the center of the town where the Oasis is. It seems that there is like 2 main thoroughfares, one from the north, one from the south, that kind of head into the crater. So like the main road you'll actually see goes down to the center and back up the other side, this main through. But there does seem to be a number of network of these large roads kind of going off throughout here that, as I said, dragons could fit on if they really needed to land and do their business. And of course there are plenty of like dragons and things in the sky. There are a number of like various beasts here that seem to be like dragon wagons or doing business. Things that like you'll have people on. You'll actually see a number of guards on the back of kavus. There's a species of Shiv and kavu, yeah. When the kavus awakened from Yavimaya, they popped up in another number of other areas in the world, and Shiv was one of them. The Shiv and kavu is fairly fearsome, and probably less easily tamed than most of them. So it kind of like, makes some like grunting noises and looks threatening constantly. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, you'll find a nice inn. It'll be called like the Golden Flower.
Neat. Okay.
Cool. And it'll have like a big like symbol of some kind of flower that grows in the Oasis, probably. That's like golden color. It's pretty busy.
We have one of those.
Yeah. It's like many inns. It has kind of like the tavern area down below. So the tavern is, even at like this time of day, because you're arriving, I'm gonna say like kind of like early, like late morning, not quite noon. There's still people like drinking and talking. It seems there's a number of deals going down in the bar room, kind of thing like that. There's a little bit of music going on, where there's a band of a goblin on some kind of strange horned instrument that's made of an actual horn. A Gitu man on a like a stringed instrument, and a Viashino on percussions.
None of them have an ordnance?
No. And there's actually like an Aven at the front singing along with it.
Third person.
Yeah. You do see occasionally non-Shivan races in this area too, or certain like humans that are definitely not Gitu, as Gitu are very darker, tan-skinned. There you go, tan-skinned, and are very like they don't often not wear their traditional clothing or parts of their traditional clothing, like the cloth headdress and the like colors are very traditional to them, and they like keeping it no matter what. It's got cultural things. Anyway, but the band's performing like some like pretty much a jaunty tune with the kind of like they have been singing beautifully. It's a very melodic sound. Like their voice reaches pitches that a normal human voice can't reach, and most other species can't, because of their nature as being an avian species. And it's just beautiful singing. And honestly, there are drinks being passed out, food being passed out. The barkeep seems very busy. There's a number of people working around. The barkeep appears to be like this tall Viashino. You can tell it's a Viashino man. Kind of scarred up. Looks a little beat up. There seems to be like a Gitu woman and a couple of goblins working at to serve everybody. And of course there's like a couple tables set up that are a little smaller for like goblins and stuff, and then the normal size tables for everybody else. So they do have specifically like areas that are set up because goblins are short. Now granted, the goblins can share tables with everybody else, but they're smaller size, so it's like if you're just a party of goblins, they'll show you to the smaller tables. Up to you where you want to sit, though. They don't stop anybody. As you kind of walk in, the barkeep will be like, "Welcome. Welcome to the Golden Flower. Come, come, come. How can I help you? Do you need a drink, some food? Are you looking for a room? Welcome, travelers.
All of the above.
Excellent. You are an interesting bunch, yes. All right. He'll work out a price for the rooms. Again, we're not going to call about room. Suggest some, like, we have some wonderful Gituin wine from the north. From one of their, the cities there. Made with some kind of berry that grows in valleys in Shiv or something, you know, something like that. Hard to gather and farm and stuff like that. So it's some, like, very nice wine. It just came in. We also have some of our ales, a bit of mead, or something stronger. It's imported if your tastes are more foreign.
Give me the strongest thing you have.
Excellent. He'll pour you a glass of like a shot glass of something that just it's probably
Is it just rubbing alcohol?
I mean, honestly, it's actually this alcohol that has a weird black color to it.
Is it death ale?
Why would it be in a shot glass if it was death ale?
No, not death ale. It is death brew.
Death brew. It has death in it still, so.
Aye. Imported from Urborg.
That's
I'd
about...
immediately shoot it.
With a gun.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's a shot.
They say they have to ferment it in the corpse of someone that was once living.
Well,
I'll pass on that one.
No, I'm good.
I'll have some of the local wine. That sounds
I
interesting.
drink the shot.
Of course, I believe they I mean, like, the rises the unliving and must slay it, and then it is said to be filled with the essence of Urborg. It makes you more drunk. It's the strongest thing we have.
Yes, it's an
Honestly.
Urborg would be.
Honestly, I am not much one for the taste of it.
I'm not here for taste, I'm here to get drunk.
Excellent. Then you shall.
I think we had once mentioned, like, Shiv and tequila.
Yes. I think there is something akin to that. A Shiv and tequila.
Yeah, they got agave plants around here.
They've got some desert-based plants, so they can have some,
A Shiv and margarita.
honestly,
Wasting away again in Ulrich's Landing.
I mean, like, mixed drinks are very old, so there's probably a couple of types of mixed drinks that they could serve, but they tend not to unless you specifically request them. You know, it's the sort of thing of, like, they probably what it is, rather than having actual mixed drinks, they probably have a list of, like, specialty mixed drinks that, like, the bar can do for you, that, like, you know, the barkeep has invented, basically. So, it's very individual bar, you know.
Yeah, signature cocktails.
Yeah. So there's a couple like that are up there. And you could have some of those, too. Honestly, it's fine drinks. You can definitely get a variety of alcohol from really poor to probably not like super top tier, probably pretty decent. There's enough traffic and business and stuff for this place to have like a couple of like top shelf things for sale. I mean, the death brew is pretty poisonous.
How bad is it?
You would
not good, man.
you would probably make a Constitution save that's normal, because a normal person would have disadvantage, but your resistance to poison would make it normal for you. Hey, you're fair. It's hitting you hard, quicker than anything you've had in a while. Also, it feels kind of right, and for some reason, you feel like eating raw flesh after you've drunk it.
Yeah, I'm having another shot.
Maybe like devouring someone's soul or something. You know, that guy's spirit over there looks good. You almost maybe see wasps of it coming off of them. You could drink that.
I have another shot.
Carrion.
Right, I'm
I
gonna
don't know what's going
go
on.
over there.
It is honestly probably black mana infused alcohol.
Yeah.
I have another shot.
Right, Carrie's getting drunk on this.
Yes.
Can you make me a... Oh, what do we want this to be? You made your Constitution save. Give me a Wisdom save. All right.
Surprisingly good.
Surprisingly good. Honestly, that's for the best. You will get drunk, but no other bad shenanigans will happen today, at least.
I will not devour anyone's soul today.
I mean,
You don't get us arrested.
you don't get us arrested. That's for the best.
I'm assuming they have a jail and don't just execute you.
Yes. Cole, what were you doing? You saying something?
I'm moving away from Carrion, who's getting horribly drunk. I'm probably gonna go find a seat somewhere.
Ah,
You know what?
Probably near the stage to enjoy music.
I'm gonna have one of the death brews.
Okay. You make me a Constitution save, honestly, with disadvantage.
That's understandable.
I have a natural resistance. You do not.
11.
Okay, you are hit hard by this. Also, it is probably awful, honestly. This is the kind of stuff that if you really want to get drunk, it does it fast. It is not a pretty getting drunk. It is not meant to be a pretty getting drunk.
This is bad. Carrion, do tequila shots with me.
More alcohol. Yes.
Tequila.
Mm-hmm. I'm going. Kaz is going to pass out drunk quickly. Honestly.
Yeah. Can we get the rooms before I pass out drunk?
I said I walked away and was questioning about the rooms.
Okay, cool.
Because I don't...
Member of the party is responsible. That's not Cole, because he just leaves his borrowed devices.
I just didn't... I don't want to know. Not with
Yes.
this.
We elected Claude as the responsible one in the party.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly
Claude,
because
give me some
Cole is
room.
tired dad.
I'm the oldest one in the party.
Yeah,
True.
You'll be able to find some rooms. Definitely get them. Get the two of them up to the rooms. This building has 4 floors, so it's 3 floors of rooms. You're gonna be on the 3rd floor, since the 1st floor is like the tavern, and in the back is the kitchen, and also probably where the innkeep and the cook have their rooms and stuff. So 2nd floor, so you're gonna go up a little bit, a bit of stairs. There is, unfortunately, Trevor Rith cannot be in here, but there is like a special area in the back, like another area that will be described that as for dragons. She is of smaller size, so honestly speaking, it's kind of like a, if you
Stable.
don't, it's probably like a nice kind of stable area, honestly, more or less. It's kind of like a large room area that probably a decent sized dragon would be able to land and hang out in. That's traveling. That doesn't... It happens occasionally that there's a dragon that doesn't have any connections to local dragons. And you need a place to stay. They have one for it. So, I mean, she's got a really big room, because she's only a medium-sized dragon. But, she also is just... She's muscular. Or is she large? I forget if I had a medium or large.
I think she's large.
I think she was horse-sized. Yeah, large.
Yeah, she's horse-sized.
Yeah.
He is perfect in every way.
Mm-hmm. That's nice of you to say. But,
I don't know if that's just me. I think that's how she thinks.
I'm assuming, Claude, you'll also get, like, Kaz's mom and sister a room on their own, kind of thing like that.
Yeah.
They're not in Star Wars. They don't have that kind of music. Lightning. There's not jizz.
They don't have jizz.
Everybody's favorite Star Wars music.
Jizz.
The
The only music in
actual
Star Wars.
bane of my existence when I run that game.
It is.
I
Thanks.
don't know what people were thinking with
No. We don't know what
George Lucas
George Lucas was
specifically.
thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, why?
I think George Lucas was thinking, it'd be really funny.
I mean, he
everyone,
wrong.
they're
You
just
enjoy
whalers,
the
right?
sounds
There's
of
nothing wrong with
jizz.
that.
It would be a fun little joke to play on God.
It kind of sounds like jazz.
Well, I think that's somewhat
That's
the point.
I know,
But-
that's the point.
Call it jazz.
No,
Anyway.
somehow that feels worse.
Jizz.
It's like
Call it Jaws.
Oh.
I'm just going through the vowels, man.
juzz.
But you will, the two of you will get drunk, and the rest of you will enjoy the rest of your day here, relaxing after a day's journey. And honestly, like, as much as the inn back in Kaz's hometown was, this is an actual, like, inn, That was a stable converted into an inn, so it had okay furnishings. They actually put furnishings into the areas where, like, where the stable, like, not cells? What would be those?
Stalls.
Stalls. The word stall escaped me, and I was thinking cell for some reason. That's jail.
That's where we're gonna end up.
Smells. Oh no.
So at some point during, I suppose, the rest of this day, Cole is gonna try to remember from his 50 years of being a goddamn smuggler, if he has any contacts in this city.
You might be able to know some groups. There is a group of Viashino that work out of Shiv that have been known for doing a lot of smuggling. They're one of the Viashino merchant guilds. They would probably have a headquarters here. Granted, in this area of Shiv, they probably deal a lot less with the international smuggling, and more probably just merchanting. But they don't have any qualms, because honestly, like, a lot of the Viashino smuggling it's not illegal in Shiv, and that's their attitude. If it's not illegal in Shiv, we're just gonna do it.
Fair.
They don't smuggle the stuff that's illegal in Shiv. They smuggle the stuff that's illegal everywhere else.
Very fair.
Or other places. So, so you could probably contact them, the Viashino Merchants Guild. Well, it's probably like the Obsidian Tail, we'll call it.
Ooh. Fancy. I want to see if they know anything about this hero goblin that we're looking for.
Okay.
If they heard any tales,
Hero Goblin.
I forget what the
Squee.
mother called them.
Yeah.
Squee.
So
Yeah,
you'll probably
sweet.
get into a meeting with probably not like the person in charge of this branch of the Merchants Guild, but like one of the people that's a higher up. He'll be like, yes. He'll mention a name that you recognize. I've heard from me that you are a great friend to our contacts. Excellent. It is good to see you. Are you bringing anything into the city today? Comitia is always looking for more products, and certainly some things that are frowned upon in other areas of the world are looked on more favorably here.
Well, not right now, but perhaps in the future. I'm actually looking for someone who may be in the city.
Perhaps I can help then. You have been a great service to our organization. I can at least ask around.
Squee that the party's looking for, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we're looking for Squee.
To clarify, do you mean the hero of legends, the great master of the Weatherlight, the one that is said to live even to these days?
Yes, I have some people in the group I'm traveling with who would love to meet him. And frankly, they're paying me a good bit of money, so, I figured I'd go through the formality of trying.
That goblin is a very elusive one. Rumors have it that he has been within Shiv for the past couple of years. Decades, even. Why? Unsure. With the reemergence of the Weatherlight, we would assume that he would meet with his the old ship, even though it is not really much of his old crew. Again, tales of descendants of great heroes joining with the crew. Impressive, but again, not the same thing. Which I would understand. Back on my days on my ship, if I would go to that ship now, completely different crew. I do not know what I would say to them. It's been many years since I sailed the oceans. But regardless, rumors have been abound of him traveling around Shiv, popping up here and there, helping out with issues that are going on, doing things. It is unsure what this man is doing, but as a group that does keep their ears open to what is going on in Shiv, well, it's good to keep track of individuals like that. Such individuals as our great council member who now finds herself the captain of a legendary ship.
She was the one I had to talk to, right? The druid
Yes.
told me to talk to?
Joyra. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now, if you were looking for her, who might know about Squee, rumor is that she's going to be visiting. There's going to be the Shivan Dragons have been meeting about something, a bunch of the elders. It's unsure what, but in a few weeks' time, they're planning on bringing this to the council's proposition. Now, that means that a bunch of bigwigs have already come into town, representatives of many of the extra tribes, to join with the normal representatives for big decisions. She is rumored to be coming into town in actually a few days and stay through the time. Catch up on political business. As much as she likes to avoid it, that woman is on the council.
Do you have any advice on getting a meeting with her? There are certain things and developments I do need to speak with her about.
If you would be asking about Shiv, and also she could help you out on some information, well, sorry, you're asking about Squee, we might be able to send a message. Honestly, when she gets into her office, she will probably be pretty busy. But, honestly, I believe there is a favor I can call in. Now, you said that your friends were funding you. This favor would cost me a little bit, but I'd be willing to bring it in. It would not be too expensive. He'll kind of like pass you a little price, which I will say would technically be within the group's money funds, honestly. But say like, I can make sure to catch her attention before she gets very busy with all the other work, preparing herself for the council meeting. Arrange that meeting. Why don't you talk to your employer, since they have the money?
Speak with them about it.
Excellent. In the meantime, if you are planning on leaving and are looking forward, we have some goods. He'll probably show you like a number of goods. Probably like, I'm going to be honest, it's probably like a type of alcohol that is looked at very badly because it's got weird side effects. Probably some kind of like equivalent, like it's probably not like a hard drug. It's probably something like akin to like a weed, kind of something like that kind of drug that's illegal in certain places,
Sure.
I'll like so he peruses you through a number of semi-illegal goods.
Yeah, I'll pick out a few things because nothing can go wrong with me doing.
Also, a shipment of strange objects from Calaman. They're these weird like metal tubes. And they come with these barrels.
Very strange.
They look a lot like some of the items that Kaz has.
Weird. I'll pick out a few things that look interesting and not mega illegal, and also the shipment of stuff, those weird tubes.
Yeah.
I gotta make money somehow.
Yeah, you'll arrange to get a couple of goods.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you've smuggled goods. Also, congratulations, you have highly illegal smuggled firearms. Calaman has only been like connected with the outside world in probably the last 50 years.
Yep.
They invented gunpowder.
Yep. Have a nice meeting, and I will arrange for these goods and head back
They're seen as dangerous, and also these things are highly regulated in most countries. Shiv doesn't really care too much because,
That's fair.
honestly, they're pretty savage land most of the time. So,
If it kills things effectively, you might as well use it.
yeah. But again, like, no one knows how to make gunpowder, honestly. So.
Yes, I will head back to the inn. And I presume 2 people have passed out drunk. And
Oh,
the
yeah.
only one remaining is Claude.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Kaz's mom is actually going to approach you too. Forgetting her name. Turlock. She's with Ulglad, and she's like, thank you for getting us a room. I am going to go meet with my daughter, with Aegro, and meet with her to see about maybe arranging to live with her for a period of time. I hear she has a nice little house, nothing big, nothing fancy, enough for maybe 1, maybe 2 in the future, with her position as a captain of the guard, and we were hoping to maybe stay until I could find something for myself. I know Kaz would probably like to help, but, you know...
He's a little preoccupied.
Seems like, honestly...
I'm unconscious.
Honestly, I assume it's, just everything that happened with, meeting his father and, his suspicions about having a different actual father that he has never met.
Nope, just like this as a person.
I can't imagine how stressful this is, so I'm sure it's a one-off thing.
Honestly, I am not against enjoying a good drink here and there. Just, maybe, just remind him that he should use a little bit of moderation.
I'll be sure to tell him.
Oh, thank you. It has been very nice traveling with you. I will probably be back for our things, or maybe we'll have to spend the night here before we can move in to the place, if we can. But, so if we don't see you again, very nice traveling with you. And we'll make sure to at least meet with Kaz.
Very lovely to meet you. Like I said back at your, old home, I can have my people contact you for any information on your adventuring sons.
Please, thank you. It would be very good to learn what has happened to Slardad. It sounds as like both my wayward boys have gotten into misadventures. And knowing that knowing one is safe has reassured me, and knowing the other would be safe would definitely quell all my worries.
Oh, I understand. I've got kids of my own and I worry about them every day, but I'm sure they're fine.
You are a good father and a good man. Thank you, Cole. I shall wander off with, they'll leave their bags here, as I said. They are planning on at least stopping by to pick those up, perhaps, but she doesn't know if they can arrange to stay where they want to go yet. We'll have to find out. So, as Cole returns, before he has a conversation probably with Claude, why don't we take our first break? It's a pretty good time. You're back. You've reached the Shivan capital of Comedia, the massive meteor crater turned. I'm gonna say it's very like Arabian Nights kind of style to everything. I kind of think so. Like, I just imagine, like the old, like, images of like ancient Babylon, or if you're going for something more modern, people might know like the city of what's ever it called, because I can't remember off the top of my head, from like Aladdin or something. Very fanciful.
Was it Agrabah?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very like fancy, like that kind of thing. But anyway, if you need a drink, snack, or bathroom break, go ahead and take them, and we'll be back in a little bit to continue. And I'm actually going to mute this time rather than the reverse.
Lightning, why would you say that in the chat, man? Why? No, man.
All right, I'm meeting up again. That's all you get to say.
You're gonna give it back?
I'm never gonna give you up.
We're gonna throw it back.
Never gonna. What's it called? Never gonna turn you around. Blah blah blah. I don't know.
No, man. You
Never
got
gonna give you
so
up, never
far.
gonna let you down, never gonna run around
Run
and
around,
desert
hurt.
you.
We're gonna run around.
I barely remember songs exist sometimes.
Never gonna
I
make
don't
you
think
cry.
you consume media past like 1995.
Never gonna say goodbye. Never gonna
Oh,
tell
I
a lie
do.
and hurt you.
And that's from the 80s.
Mhm.
So,
There's fine but rustic media going on right now that I enjoy. With their modern musics.
as big of a music fan as your dad is,
Oh, I like a lot of music. I just can't. I can't identify music at all. That
I'm
skill is
just
beyond.
saying, with growing up with him, I'm surprised you don't know things
Oh.
better.
Like names of songs and artists. That's a different
Yeah.
skill. That's memorizing stuff. I'm terrible at. Yeah, man. It'll be the next morning. Both you and Carrie will be very terrible feeling. Congratulations. Kaz.
This is how I always
Got
feel,
it.
so
Hangover successful. Lesser restoration on the both of us. Done. I'm wasting the spell slots. I don't even care.
You do that so freaking often.
Hey, it works every time. Perfect hangover cure. Magic, baby. What's the point of being an artificer if you have a hangover? Nothing.
True.
So, as you kind of cure yourself and wander down towards the tavern, I guess, for breakfast and stuff, a group of guards is going to walk in.
Oh no. Hello.
I hear you kidnapped Mother.
Fuck.
oh, we're kidnappers now?
Fuck.
I mean, your mother technically isn't a kid, so is it really kidnapping? Mother napping?
I didn't kidnap Mother. She snuck onto my cart.
Did she kidnap herself?
No, she just ran away because
You
Father.
better come along with me for questioning.
Am I being arrested?
Not yet.
Okay. Someone get the talking bird to become a lawyer. I'm gonna go.
I'm pretty sure he already is a
into
lawyer.
questioning. We need to get Nim back. Nim was the best lawyer we ever had.
I can try to be charismatic.
I can be a lawyer.
You
With
two
your-
combined
yeah,
for
with your
this.
wait, I can drink your blood.
No.
Form intelligent
No.
and charismatic.
Stop it.
Or get this, we work together because I have a brain and you have a mouth.
You don't have a mouth?
Carrion, you also have
How
a
do
mouth.
you drink?
Hang on. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna have to end this conversation. I'm being arrested. By my asshole of an older sister.
No, she said you're not being arrested.
Not
Yes.
formally, but like... I'm being arrested.
Is Kazzrann being detained?
He's being taken in for questioning.
That's
And
called
perhaps
detaining.
the rest of you should come in too.
Are we
Why?
all being arrested now?
It's not the first time.
It's
Apparently,
not.
you're also involved in this kidnapping.
It's not the kidnapping.
We found them stowed away in
Again,
our
the
cart.
kid was napping on
It's-
the dragon.
Aiding and abetting at best.
The kid was napping on the dragon. That's how it worked.
Is Kazzrann's mother still, like, in this inn?
No.
Okay. Did she say where she was going?
Yes, to
Didn't
go
she
meet...
say she was going to meet the
To
Tanner?
meet the older sister who's now accusing us of kidnapping.
Mhm.
My mother's dead in an alley somewhere.
We need to
And
go
it's your
find your
fault.
sister. She's now my child.
No.
Alright, let's get this over with. Come on.
You'll be taken in to effectively the guard post, where each of you will be put into a different room. Claude, Carrie, Cole, your rooms will be kind of like, looks like just like little like rooms probably for like talking to witnesses or like talking with like suspects or something like that. So like maybe just little interrogation rooms. They're not not as cold and sterile as you'd get like in here, but again, like it's a stone building and it's not like super furnished. On the other hand, Kaz, you are in a jail cell. We'll talk to you shortly.
Expected that one.
You're being a real bitch about this.
You burnt down our town.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Isn't there a statute of limitations on that?
There's... No.
It's less there's like actual law in place and more that everybody's really angry about the burning down of the town. And technically, I think arson is mostly illegal in Shiv. Things burn a lot, so it's kind of that nebulous thing of like...
It's hard to prove it was intentional arson most of the time.
Yeah.
And not just, oh, this building burned down again.
Mm-hmm.
Insurance fraud is a really common scam.
I don't think there is insurance, or it would be way expensive.
That's true.
No, you're probably right. All I know is that... Did they take any of my stuff? When I got thrown in this jail cell because I'm arrested?
How much did you have on you? Because you would have probably left stuff in your room.
So much.
They would have asked that you put anything that could be construed as dangerous into a chest that's nearby. It'll be returned to you once this entire endeavor is done.
Anything that can be construed as dangerous.
Okay, go in the chest.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, like my lungs alone are capable of casting a second level spell.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, where's my bag
Go
inventory?
in the chest.
I have so many dangerous things.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just put the capsule, the fucking bag, in the chest.
Okay.
And call it good.
All right. We will talk to your friends first, and then we will get to you.
You're being a real bitch about this.
Mm-hmm.
You know that, right?
Not going to say anything, and going to leave. Watch this one. He can be tricky. It does appear you're just kind of like in a holding cell area rather than like like a prison more than anything. That's at least good.
I can break out so easily.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't take my gloves, and ever since like Tolarian Under the Sea, all of my tools have been kept in like quick change things in my gloves. I spent like hundreds of gold on it.
What form are you in, Claude?
I'm just in my normal human form.
Okay. Then they're probably gonna go to Cole you first. She'll kind of come in here. What is your association with the fugitive Kazzrann?
Technically, they hired me to guide them through Yavimaya, and now, through the Druids of Yavimaya, I have been assigned to them to make sure they don't do anything else stupid.
What stupid things did they do in Yavimaya?
Oh, boy. We would be here a while.
Fun fact, you can lie to the cops.
Yeah.
What's the worst thing they did then?
Don't answer that.
I have to try to remember what actually happened on Yavimaya.
Uh-huh.
Worst thing I did was create an abomination to...
I'm not going to mention that one.
Horrible Rift in Time Space?
That might get mentioned. I don't know. That feels a
I
little
got drunk
excessive
with
to
a bunch
mention.
of gorillas.
You did get drunk with a bunch of gorillas. Carrion ensured the death of many a squirrel in a rave.
I'll go over the not world-shattering stuff that happened in Yavimaya.
Okay.
So no, not mentioning the dragon, not mentioning the hole in time and space.
You're painting me in such a bad light.
It's
I
mostly
thought
like
we
the
were
squirrels,
friends, man.
the shaman adventure, and the gorilla drinking.
You know, normal debauchery.
Yeah, the normal debauchery.
Is that what he does with his free time now that he's out in the world?
I just want to get paid, honestly.
Well, I can't blame you for wanting a paycheck, and you do seem to be a reasonable man. Please wait here while I talk to the others. Apologies for this entire thing, but the criminal mastermind that is my brother is a dangerous being that perhaps has to be sealed away for good. He's obviously had bad influence on Mother and convinced her to do something crazy, like run away from Father. He can be difficult, but what's she planning on doing? Sorry. Go talk to the others, see if they know anything different. Seems like, do you know if any of them are employed, or are they his compatriots?
The one named Claud is pretty alright.
I'll talk to that one next. Alright. So this, it's very sharply dressed, soldier uniform, goblin lady will come in, and address you. Are you the one, you're the one called Claud, yes?
Yes.
So, why don't you tell me about your relationship with the one called Kazzrann?
I've been hanging out with him and traveling for a little over a year now.
What have you done during that travel?
Went to college twice. Bought an orc village.
What kind of college?
Teloria.
That's strange. I wouldn't see that, from what I've heard, he would have bettered himself like that.
He's done a lot, actually. I mean, he's one of the most intelligent people I know. And that's in the 300 years I've been alive.
She'll kind of look at you quizzically because you're a human. Huh. And then she'll just for a second and then kind of shake her head and be like, regardless, have the incidents like those at Yavimaya been normal for your journeys? The debauchery? The violence? I'm assuming he's burning more stuff down to the ground?
The only thing that we've really burnt to the ground would have been an orc village. And they were trying to harm us.
That's not entirely unreasonable then, but that also is still not really good that you'd resort to burning down their village, even if they were hostile.
It was just the outer wall.
It wasn't the entire village. It was just their defenses.
It wasn't our entire village back at home, but it was just our houses.
I'm sure you weren't trying to harm him. Are you sure it wasn't just an accident? I know he sometimes dabbles with things that aren't always the safest.
That's a choice he makes, to dabble in stuff like that. Has he been dabbling in any other dangerous things that you think he shouldn't have?
Nothing that hasn't helped us along the way and saved our lives.
That's not a no. But it sounds like he's gotten lucky.
He also has found ways to practice his craft a lot safer. College has helped with that.
What did he major in at college?
I know he did some stuff with archaeology and I believe artifice.
All right. What do you think of him?
He's a good man that I'd always want by my side.
What of his dangerous tendencies and disregards for safety?
Again, he's gotten much better with that.
What of the debauchery?
The debaucherous one in our group is not Kaz.
Which one is it?
Well, it was with somebody we used to travel with, but he's no longer with us.
So who's the current master of debauchery?
Well, depending what you want to define as debauchery, if you're talking about sexual escapades, that would be our friend Carrie.
Sex, drinking, possible violence because you're under the influence? So the one
only time she's
Carrie,
violent is normally when we have to defend ourselves. And she's gotten better with the drinking. She drinks tea for the most part. Occasionally will imbibe.
How did you make peaceful contact with a demonic force? Most of their kind do tend to be very violent, but obviously she seems to be in control of her factors.
We actually are, all of us but Cole met originally on a ship that we were traveling on, and it was attacked. And we kind of stayed together after that for better defense.
And she hasn't done anything dangerous? I don't mean to be presumptuous, but oftentimes beings of her kind do very bad things. If she's been good, that's fine.
So
and
racist.
And it sounds like at least she's been... The debauchery is at least offable in most sections. But I want to make sure she's not a threat to the city. Most people
I would say she is not a threat. Again, she normally only gets violent if someone starts violence with her.
I would have assumed if she was a threat, the dragons would have already done something about her too. They're probably already watching her.
We actually traveled with an angel for quite some time. I think some of that rubbed off on her.
It's an odd thing to have happened. Contact with an angel.
We're an odd group.
So you have peaceful contact with Sarens.
Yes. She was questioned when we traveled through their lands, but we were let go. It was more of, she's a demon, they're angels.
The same thing I'm asking, whether or not I have to worry about her for my town.
Exactly.
Most people don't know what she is when they look at her. They're going to possibly just pass her off as something from somewhere else in the world. We don't get a lot of unusual outsiders here in Shiv, and especially in Korea.
Understood.
All right. So, do you think anything Kazzrann is doing would be particularly dangerous to the city? Anything he has with him?
I don't believe so.
When we asked him to put any dangerous things he might have in a box, he put a mysterious metal container. What is that?
Oh, it holds many things. I think it's some kind of extra-dimensional space, he's said before. Honestly, a lot of that kind of stuff that he worked with is over my head.
You'll notice she'll kind of knock on the door for a second, interrupting herself, and like talk to someone, be like, bring in someone who's expert in magic. There's some kind of strange item. I want to know what it does and how it functions, or if it's dangerous or not. I don't want to tamper with it if it's too dangerous. Thank you. So Kaz is feeling the sass that he's been building up when he's questioning.
Dangerous things that I have. Fuck you. I'm competent.
Incompetent.
She should recuse herself from the investigation.
That's all the questions I have for now. Please, we'll have someone bring you a drink. Is there some kind of tea you prefer?
I'm always willing to try something local.
I'll have someone bring you something nice. Look, I'm sorry about all this. It sounds like you've had a reasonably fine time with Kazzrann, but it seems as though his tendencies from his youth aren't completely gone. I just want to make sure he's still not a threat to a town after what he did. Because he did it and ran away.
I completely understand.
Alright. Carrie. She's going to approach and come into this room. This goblin woman, as I said, dressed in very fine soldier's uniform, with two other soldiers, and be like, forgive me, you're named Carrion, right?
That's the name.
Well, we don't get too many kind from of your kind in Shiv. As I've said to one of your friends before, they wouldn't recognize demonic forces off the top of their heads, and we here at Shiv are very based on freedom. So, I'm not here to arrest you because of what you are. Far from it. I'm here to find out why you're here, especially for you, just to make sure that, it sounds like your friends are vouching that you're a safe person. So, you're kind of my second priority on that one. So forgiveness that they're here just in case until we confirm that, just by a little talking. I just want to make sure, everything is on the up and up and that you're just wandering around having a good time. Drinking a lot and maybe getting into some relationships with people and places. Yeah?
I'm sorry, can I just roll an insight?
Sure.
Because I feel like she's, full on trying to butter me up. Not that I'm good at insight.
She seems genuine on, she's concerned about the city, because, again, she recognizes you're demonic in nature, and demons have a bad reputation, because, 99% of them try to conquer and read the souls of the innocent. And the other 1% tend to just either keep to themselves, or just, hang out with a cult. Honestly, you're an outlier in the demonic community, by far. So, there might have been, historically one other demon that acted like you. And it was that guy that, was just I'm just fine for being here. Let's go get some, let's go drink and party and, have all the sex,
It's sanguine.
Probably somewhere there was a demon that did that, 5,000 years ago, honestly. Most demons just, they don't have your good attitude. So, she's making sure that you're in the 1%, which it sounds like, and you haven't done anything. So, yeah. Look. You met Kaz on a boat, yes?
Oh, yeah.
And, he's your partner in partying?
Well, honestly, typically Kazzrann is my sense of morality and what's the word for when people tell you to stop and you don't want to stop, but then you have to be responsible?
So you're saying he's been a good influence on you to keep you on the at least up and up when it comes to hanging out in towns and around people?
Oh yeah, Kaz is the one that actually turned me onto chamomile tea instead of weed.
So, alright. Now...
He's like my moral compass.
Has this moral compass steered you wrong before?
No, actually, Kaz has been probably the best thing that's ever happened to me.
But have you gotten into any kind of incidents?
Usually the incidents are my fault. Actually, I think every single time the incident has been my fault.
So you are saying that you've caused some problems here and there?
Oh yeah, of course I have. Hasn't everyone?
Yes and no. Are those dangerous problems, or just funny, haha, something silly happened problems?
Well, I did accidentally get kidnapped by 3 dominatrixes before.
All right.
To be fair, it was consensual kidnapping, but it was kidnapping.
All right. And where was Kaz and all that?
Honestly, I think Kaz was freaking out about me being kidnapped. I'm pretty sure Kaz was the one to find me.
All right. So you've gotten yourself into situations before. Has any of your situations caused any major property damage?
With the party? Honestly, I don't remember. I don't think so.
What about the orc village that burned down?
Well, to be fair, they were trying to kill us there. And the property damage was unintentional, I think. Yes, it was.
Have you made more enemies doing stuff like that, when someone was aggressive and meeting them with aggression?
Typically not. There was this weird shadow dude that, like, attacked us on the boat, and then, like, we just keep running into them. So technically, they were mean to us, and now they don't like us for some reason. Also, they stole from us once. That was rude.
Since you seem to be the one that's closest to Kaz, do you know why he's been using our brother's name?
Well, for the most part, it's because he doesn't want to give his own. And I think he panicked the first time, and then just, you know how sometimes when you panic and you say something, or like you go with an accent, and then you have to continue with that accent every time you talk to that person? I've done that before.
So effectively, when you got into a little bit of trouble, he threw out my brother's name, my other brother's name, in a
Oh no, it wasn't trouble.
It wasn't?
I don't think it was. Was it? Again, the drugs have really destroyed my memory, and now that I'm back on, like, the chamomile tea, it's coming back, but not very good. I think I'll always have memory problems now.
All right. One final question for you before I have to ask a couple more questions on Kazzrann, though. And
okay.
No offense to this one. Have you done anything massively demonic before? It sounds as though you tried not to. You used drugs as an outlet for perhaps more violent tendencies. Now you've been using drinking and tea and sex. And you...
Not the drinking much anymore.
All right. Less drinking. Though occasional? To excess?
Well, yes. We got really drunk last night, but to be fair, there was a lot going on.
Alright. Well...
I think that's the first time we've been drunk in, like... since Yamamea.
Have you used your demonic capabilities for anything?
Specifically for anything? No. Not on purpose.
So you're saying there perhaps been some accidents before involving...
Well, there was one. Kaz managed to bring me back from that one. And now I'm more in control of it.
I'm going to admit that does sound like a good thing that he's been keeping whatever violent tendencies or destructive abilities you have in check. I commend him for that, at least. Maybe
he's like the only person out of my party I think I could not bring myself to kill when I was in demon form. I think it would have knocked me out if I, almost killed him.
Interesting. Has he done a lot of fire damage to anything? Caused anything?
No, surprisingly, that's more my thing. Although that was more when I was a child, and now it's a lot better. I don't usually do burning things.
How about his experiments?
Oh, he has a safe place to do those. He's never hurt any of us with his experiments.
But you're saying he still does dangerous ones, he just has found a way to keep them safe, right?
Oh, yeah. He had an extra dimensional pocket. That way, if anything blew up, it would only blow up on him.
And I'm assuming you were with him at Talarian College, right?
Yeah, we went to
Talarian
college
Academy?
together. I may have exiled him a couple of times.
How did he do while he was a student there? Was he studious? Was he top grades, low grades?
Oh, no, he was probably the top of his class. Me and him were often, competing on that form. Of course, we weren't always in the same class, but some of the classes we did take together.
All right.
Kaz is the smartest person I know. And that's saying something. I'm pretty smart myself.
So what does he do now? You've obviously both graduated, learning all you could learn from the Talarian Academy, and are traveling again. Also, what does he do now? Let's ask that first.
Well, we kind of go on quests. Right now, we're trying to find Smee. I think that's his name. The undead goblin thing. I think he's undead. Is he technically undead if he just doesn't die?
Squee. The ever-dying. Smee the undead.
There will be a raised
you can't
eyebrow.
deny
on that
that
one.
it's a very Carrie thing
Yes,
to say.
it is.
Such a scary thing to say.
There's a raised eyebrow and so that's why you're here in Shiv, to find another goblin.
Well, there's that. I'm pretty sure Cole has to be here for some reason. I think that's it.
And the dragon.
Oh, yeah, we have a dragon! Well, we don't have a dragon. Shimor has us. She wanted to come here, too.
I've heard about your dragon compatriot, which I was honestly surprised that your group was connected with. News of her arrival has spread in the upper echelon of the city. How did you meet a powerful creature like that?
We met in Yavamea.
During your debauchery?
Are you talking about the squirrel party? Because the squirrel party was not my fault.
I wasn't talking about the squirrel party, but I guess I am now. You had a squirrel party also?
Oh yeah, I met this, well, I say we met this, really cool, druid, I guess. He was really powerful. He pretty much had command of all of the squirrels in Yavamea. And, wait, where is my squirrel? Manuel! Have you seen a squirrel?
We left Manuel on the boat. Have you seen a squirrel? We left Manuel on the boat.
This is Carrie!
I know, Gary's forgotten. No, we didn't see
a tiny squirrel. He probably has some neurological problems from the drinking.
You had a squirrel drink. Alright.
Yeah, he almost died. Kaz saved his life after I cried. He's my best friend. Well, he's my third best friend. My second best friend is Wintress, who you've never met. My first best friend is Kaz.
Well. Very
also,
interesting.
Squirrel Party. Yeah, it was not my fault. I didn't know Squirrels Partied that hard. I did not cause mass squirrel murder. Do you regret talking to me yet? Most people do by this point.
No, I do not regret talking to you. You at least seem reasonable. Mostly.
That's the kindest thing anyone's ever said to me.
Yes. Well, I might have a few more questions. For now, why don't you wait here and we'll get you some nice tea?
That would probably be good. I'm very hungry and very hungover. Well, no, I take that back. Kaz did take away the hungover. Hangover? Hangover. Hangover.
Alright. Do you know exactly the type of magic he's mastered then?
I mean, I don't know if it's technically mastery of magic. I mean, he's a fantastic artificer.
Good to keep in mind. All of you will enjoy a wait around where some tea will eventually be brought to you. It'll be a nice wait. Kaz, you're still in a jail cell, waiting.
Not
around.
even questioning me, just letting me fucking stew in a jail
If
cell.
any guards are anywhere near Cole is just gonna like chat them up and have a casual conversation.
Oh, you can have those pretty well.
She's gonna ask if I could have at least one of my incense sticks, and so I can meditate for a little while.
Oh, sure. They'll be fine with that. You get some meditation. You'll have some chats with the guards. They honestly kind of like pass off a lot of this. You know, it's sort of like, it's
You're not our focus.
yeah, and it sounds like even what's going on is a lot of like pent up anger. It's like it was a couple of it's like a long. It was how long ago was it? Like a decade now? Okay, how long ago was it, Kaz? Exactly since the Great Burning. The Great Fire.
Kaz was pretty young when he burned down a lot of things, and goblins age quickly. So he's 19. You know, honestly, it might be like 7 or 8 years.
Yeah. It sounds like it was nearly a decade ago. I don't know. I think the commander is just overreacting because of
Is that the commander?
what her brother did back then. But
It's actually the sergeant.
the captain. Sorry, captain's probably the proper term. Anyway, there will be it looks like this Gitu woman will kind of walk in. It's like kind of where you are, not questioning you about anything, and we'll kind of move over to where your string kitty. Meow, 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 meow. To the chest that contains your a container of holding, and we'll open up the chest and begin to investigate it. You can tell she's casting detect magic first, followed by identify, and then spending some time looking at it.
Should ask the person who made it first.
She's waiting. After she's done kind of looking over it with some spells, she'll kind of turn towards you and be like, interesting thing you have here.
Oh, to me?
Yes.
Thank you. I invented it myself. It's technically the second version.
Oh?
It's just cloth didn't feel secure enough, so metal works better.
Alright. Sounds reasonable. Honestly, I've never heard of most pockets of space tend to be very short-lived. And you need one that lasts. Very interesting.
It took some doing, but I found a way to keep it sustained. It does not hold an atmosphere, so you can't go inside it.
Would it be safe to open up and inspect your contents?
I will be more honest than I was anticipating. Some of the contents of that bag are dangerous in careless hands. They are of artificery that has not been seen in a long, long time. I have a degree in archaeology from Tularia under the sea. I am one of the most qualified individuals to handle this ancient advanced technology. and how it has been modified. That said, if you still wish to examine the contents of the bag, I am happy to go through it with you.
If I'm to convince the captain,
My sister,
of that this is a safe item, and perhaps give good word towards you, I would have to know the contents. I guess you're going to kind of break down what's in the bag.
yeah. Now, it is a good thing that the spear gun no longer exists.
Mm-hmm.
And the duster boxes are now Genesis boxes. Because that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
The Staff of Domination is going to be hard to explain, but that's fine. And I don't fully understand the strange black crystal, but I'm an artificer and experimenter. I can just explain that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She's actually going to be really fascinated by, like, the box which restores life?
It's complicated. It's technically, like, it's not restoring life, it is restoring, like, vitality.
Interesting.
To the land itself, if not the inhabitants.
You haven't tested one?
No. No, I haven't, because I only have 6 of them. I know what they're capable of. I'm good enough to know that. Putting one here, activating one here on Shiv, I don't think is a good idea. Because part of what it does is not so much restoring vitality as amplifying the energies inherent in the land. Shiv is destructive.
In an area like this, it might be stable, but yes, if you don't know the range, it could set off countless volcanoes nearby.
The volatility of Shiv is
dangerous.
Very.
Understandable. Alright, that makes sense. Look, I must be honest, as a fellow graduate of the Academy, I, do my best to look after matters here of magic and Shiv, and your box here seems to do a good job of holding things in, and as much as these items are very dangerous, certainly you keep them contained. I would ask that you avoid opening your container while you're in Shiv if you don't have to. I'm assuming keeping some of these items are more mundane and easily you can pull them out, but
yes, most of the items in here are harmless. Strange, but harmless.
Minimizing possible exposure for now, especially because you are right. Shiv's nature as a much more destructive land would be worse than some of the other places when it comes to your box.
I have been attempting to design a complex lock for the box. Something that would open easily for me, but not easily for others. The issue is, in battle, that is inconvenient. But
are there words that I can perhaps give your sister that would reassure her? I honestly don't know if there's anything that can.
Just tell her that you have examined the canister and its contents, and you find that there is not a reasonable risk.
I don't know if I can say that at least, but I can say that the risk is at least seemingly mitigated.
At least reassure her that I am capable of handling it.
That's something that seems to be accurate from my assessment of you.
Thank you.
So she's gonna go off, talk to your sister. It'll be a little bit more of a wait. Meow. Hey, Damien. And then your sister will come in to speak to you. She's gonna speak to you kind of through the bars of the little jail you're in here, kind of just address you. You can tell there's just bite coming off of her, but she's just kind of coming in and kind of like looking at you, being like, "So, you're back in Shiv.
I am.
Why did you get our mother involved?"
I didn't intend to get her involved in anything. I came to the village to have a conversation with her about some private matters. Okay? And then we went to examine some nearby ruins. And while we were there, she snuck onto the cart.
What conversation did you have? I don't mean to be forward about it, but I would like to know. I have to be honest. I understand Mother's reasoning, perhaps maybe with some jolting by you, maybe not, for leaving. Father could be difficult. I think that's why all of us became travelers or moved other places to be on our own. But he's still our father, and I still want to know.
What I'm about to tell you is of a very private nature. The contents of what I'm about to tell you must be held in confidence. Do you understand?
Yes.
Father is not my father. He raised me, yes, but biologically he is not my father.
Mother confessed?
Yes. Also, I had the vision about it after a gorilla knocked me on the head. It was a gorilla shaman. And a great general who helped a great deal.
That's a very strange reasoning for getting a hint at something like this, but honestly, if Mother has confirmed with you that she had an affair, I can understand maybe why there's a little bit more pressure on you from Father than some of the rest of us. Maybe he suspected something.
I came here, in fact, my specific motivation for coming here is because my real father lives here, apparently.
You've always been a destructive source, and it seems you're still dangerous. But I must be honest. Your story and reasoning for your traveling here are reasonable. And it seems as though you've made some good friends and some weird friends. And are assisting a dragon noble
Yes.
to arrive here. That is a very reasonable thing. Look, I don't know if I can ever... I don't think I can ever forgive you for what happened in the city and for running afterwards. I don't think I need to. I'm going to be honest about that. And I don't think,
I don't think either of us need an apology or forgiveness from the other.
No, I don't think so. But I think there's enough of this. And honestly, as long as you don't cause trouble in the city that I am in, I don't care.
I don't intend to cause trouble.
I hope I don't hear about you causing trouble. And if
I
I
also
don't,
hope...
and you leave, and you get out of my hair, it'll be all the better.
Okay. Agreed.
Excellent. For the first time in about a decade, we are agreeing on something. Great.
It's honestly been more like 2 decades on that we've ever agreed. I don't think we've ever really agreed on anything.
No.
Except that Mother's cooking is significantly better than any time Father has ever tried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yes.
He couldn't cook anything.
Oh God, he can't. He genuinely can't.
What about that tiny burned water? How do you do that?
I don't know. It's like he tried to season it with ash.
Trying to make soup of all things?
I don't know.
Anyway. You and your friends are free to go. The questioning is over. I'm honestly surprised you're a good influence on anything. And please, keep the drinking and the sex to a minimum while you're in town here. I don't expect you to stop those things. You're free to do anything you want. But it seems as though your friend might lose control if they could drink a little too much. And I'd rather you be sober to keep them in control.
I keep an eye on her.
Which is good.
As much as I can.
I'm very happy that you found someone worse than you ever were to make better.
Look, she's already been checked out by the High Council of Benalia, as well as an individual church with its own Council of Angels, and both found her completely acceptable.
I find her acceptable too. She seems reasonable.
She's fine.
Also,
she's a
the
good
things
friend.
that she said about maybe losing control and killing all her friends except for you does make me worry.
She wouldn't do it.
Kill all her friends but you? Or kill all her friends?
She wouldn't kill all of us. She wouldn't.
Just some of you?
She has more... No, stop twisting my fucking words. Okay? She
know
has
what you're
more
saying.
control than she thinks. I have faith in her.
I'm glad you do. And at least it seems like your skill is not unfounded. Honestly, from what I can hear from the advice I was given, you're really good at what you do.
I am. I have said I'm the best, and that's not too much of an exaggeration.
I thought you would have died by now.
Most people would have assumed as much, but no. I am, in fact, incredibly competent. Do you know how close I came right there to saying incredibly incompetent by accident? I felt it on the tip of my tongue, and I was like, no, I'm gonna
Hilarious. I am
control myself.
incredibly competent.
Try not to use Slarvad's name. It sounds like he's already getting himself in enough trouble for you to
I
get
have
more trouble.
look. If I had known that Slarvad left Shiv, I would never have done that.
Honestly,
The only reason I did is because I thought he was safe here.
Honestly, none of us knew that he was out on adventures, too. We thought it was all him. Mother confirmed it that, no, you've been out on adventures, and honestly, your training and the abilities you have prove that you've definitely been on some of them. And I would assume you're not embellishing too much.
No, I have gone to college twice. I have a mansion, an estate nearby one of the colleges. I was on Slinvoda, the Leviathan. I met multiple dragons at this point. Multiple. A weird amount.
When you're in my job, you do meet plenty of them, so I can understand that, but I guess your travels, you're just running into them.
Multiple varieties. I met a sand dragon, a sandworm.
That's unusual.
He pulled a prank on us.
Really?
It was odd. It was odd.
I'll keep that in mind if any decide randomly to travel to Shiv.
I don't think they will. There's, oceans in the way.
It does sound like a problem. Look,
Yes.
just stay on your best behavior, and we'll both be out of our hairs in no time.
Hopefully, yes. So we are able to leave, and I'm able to pick up my canister.
You can take your canister. Just I've been reassured that it contains everything safely, but it does sound like you have some very dangerous old artifacts in there.
I do.
I'm assuming
However,
either one of the ancient wars of Artifice. Whatever, I don't really care. Please just don't work on them while in the city.
It is a secure and contained metal canister that I have ensured is well warded and protected and very sturdy. Very sturdy.
Alright. Go on your way.
Okay.
But I might have some people keeping an eye out on your lot. Just
Most of the buildings here are stone and won't burn.
Just maybe someone checking in on you to make sure everything continues to go fine. Especially since it sounds like your dragon is going to meet with the council.
Dragon is a reincarnation for
Yes.
primeval dragon.
Of the primeval dragon of Yavimaya.
Yes.
Yes. I have been briefed enough to know that, the primeval dragons are a thing. We have the great reincarnation of Daragaz that serves us and has helped form the council. Yes, formed the peace. So I can understand another one being around. Great. That still is not necessarily reassuring. Primeval dragons, from my reports, are very dangerous.
A lot of things are dangerous, but it's fine.
Daragaz could cause a volcano to erupt if it wanted to.
So could, honestly, a lot of the, natural flora and fauna here on Shiv.
I'm just saying that a lot of us people down on the ground and that are small have to keep an eye out for things that go on in the big side. And you're playing around with the big side now.
I am playing around with the big side, but I'm making sure it has the perspective of those of us who are small.
Good. I just want no incidents to occur and,
I haven't done anything that destructive lately.
You've brought in basically an X factor to what's going on here. There's a big meeting on the hands. The Elder Dragons are meeting for God knows what reason. And now you've brought in another factor to this entire thing. Something's going on. I don't know what, but something's going on. And I don't like it.
Can I make a guess out of character?
Mm-hmm.
Does it have to do with an Elder Dragon recently reawakening?
Maybe. That might have a thing to do with it. Honestly, ancient dragons, they might have abilities to do things like sense other energies and stuff like that, or read the mana flows. And there are a number of ancient dragons here on Shiv, of course.
Yeah. So it is my fault.
It is very well possibly your fault. That might not be the issue, but also that might be one of the factors of why the ancient dragons.
It might be on the agenda somewhere.
Yeah, they might have already had a meeting planned for in a decade or something, and they had to push it up because of this.
Because I did a new science.
You did a new science.
I did an Oingo Boingo's weird science.
Weird science.
Yeah, I did weird science by Oingo Boingo.
Mm-hmm. So, all of you will be let go. You have your warning. You're not really going to have a guard escort, but as I said, she'll probably send, some guards to check in on you or something, and maybe when you're, probably they'll have an escort for you when you're going to meet with the council and stuff. Because honestly, that's probably what's going to happen next, is your dragon needs to be escorted to meet with the council, which, well, actually, no. Probably next thing up is Cole's got a meeting with Joyra, who's going to be like, wait, you guys...
Us again!
We're back!
Hi! We came to you this time.
Cole doesn't know that. You didn't...
At some point I probably mentioned the stuff about I can help you find Squee, and also there's a bunch of illegal goods heading to your ship.
There's a bunch of illegal goods heading to my ship?
They're not illegal in Shiv.
Well, not illegal here.
Am I getting a cut?
Yeah, it's your ship.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Valid.
Mm-hmm. They're probably...
Don't tell my sister.
Yes. But I guess that's a great place to leave it off. We'll have, I think next time we'll start with meeting with Joyra, and then we have meeting with the council, and then
Dad hunt.
And then Dad hunt. We'll kind of do it in that order because we'll get like the big meetings out of the way, because then you can worry about the Dad hunt kind of thing. And maybe you can add in like Squee hunt at the same time as you do Dad hunt, you know?
Dad hunt. Maybe my dad is Squee.
You never know what I've done.
Really hope not.
I think my dad might be Squee.
Anyway, why don't we have shout-outs
Squee him.
for stuff? Matt.
Hey, I am here.
Fascinating. Can you tell me more about this here that you exist on?
No.
Oh, okay.
I knew you were going to say, but it still was funny.
Fish.
Hi, everybody. I'm Fish Harlan. This week you can find me planning to expect the Spanish Inquisition. I think I'm going to finally catch them off guard.
Yeah. They're going to be like, think they're going to pop in here and be like, no one expects that I expect the Spanish Inquisition.
There's going to be like a fucking, what's that thing called where it's like a little trap on the ground and then they step in it and it pulls them up?
Oh, yeah, like the net traps. Snares.
Snare.
Snare trap, yeah.
Snare trap.
Snare.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a bunch of, there's
Yeah.
3 of them, because there's always the 3 of them. It's the 3 snare traps, and they're all gonna go up, and it's gonna be very Scooby-Doo.
Mm-hmm. Joe. Actually, no. It's my brain farted there. It's Joe's last. It's Momo, but I could do it in any order technically
I mean,
because
it
I'm in
doesn't
charge.
really matter.
It doesn't actually
There's
matter.
no rules here.
I'm trying to maintain order. Thank you.
No, I think
Tangent
when you forgot to
order
meet the
doesn't exist in this
stream,
group.
order stopped existing.
I will maintain a moniker of order. Thank you very much. Anyway, the Momo stuff, talk, speak.
I am on here, and then you can catch me Wednesdays at 8 p.m. in maybe 2 weeks for more Skulls and Shackles.
Yeah, we're gonna do Buccaneers. It's on break in between seasons, and we'll be back in like 2-ish weeks. And, you know, stuff like that. Joe.
I'm here. Once in a blue moon on Saturdays for discussing tabletop.
I know. You did make your triumphant return, and it can possibly make some more triumphant returns in the future.
Yes.
But yes, I
That's what it would be right now.
Tantis Dracovin, your emperor here, the empire here. So welcome. You know, if you've been here all along, great. You're here at the end. We'll be back next week for more adventures. We'll be crazy. More stuff will happen. You know, some catching up with Joyra and someone new meeting her. A meeting with the Shivan Council. That'll be wonderful. And, you know, some father searching. You know, and some goblin searching. Double the goblins, double the fun. Not double mint gum, though, because, you know, I honestly, I'm pretty sure the mint would, like, combust here in Shiv.
Also, double mint isn't that good.
It's acceptable. If you just need some gum. There are better gums. Tomorrow morning, I'll probably be doing Pathfinder Kingmaker. I'll continue my adventures there, if you want to join me there. Saturday, discussing tabletops. Sunday's up in the air. I will be doing, probably some point next week. I've been playing my Final Fantasy V now. I've been playing through all the pixel remasters of Final Fantasy. I'll be doing that. As Momo mentioned, Buccaneers of the Shackled Sea is on break for a few weeks. So, I'm going to leave it up in the air whether I feel up for doing something on a Wednesday night or not. I might just do some stuff with friends for those evenings. That's been discussed. I might do something on stream. Who knows? We'll find it out when I kind of figure out what's going on. But next week, Turn of Rath. So, everybody out there, have a great evening. I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Great rest of the week if you're not joining me for anything else. And stay safe and stay healthy in the crazy, crazy world that always is out there. And, you know, I hope things only get better for all of us. But until those times, farewell and goodbye, everybody.
More.